Mr. Frank?
Yes, Meep, yes.
Everyone in the office has gone home. It's after 6. Don't stay up here, Mr. Frank. What's the use of torturing yourself like this?
I've come to say goodbye, Meep. I'm leaving here.
What? What do you mean? Where are you going? Where?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided.
Mr. Frank, you can't leave here. This is your home. Amsterdam is your home. Your business is here, waiting for you. You're needed here. Now that the war is over, there are things
I've
that...
just got too many memories in Amsterdam, Meep. The house we lived in, the school, the street organ playing down there. Forgive me. I'm not the man you used to know. I'm a bitter old man. Come, Meep.
Mr. Frank, did you see? There are some of your papers here.
Burn them.
But there are letters, notes.
Burn them. All of them.
From this.
Anne's diary. Monday the 6th of July, 1942. 1942? Is it possible, Meep? Only 3 years ago. Dear Diary, since you and I are going to be great friends, I will start by telling you a little bit about myself. My name is Anne Frank. I'm 13 years old. I was born in Germany, the 12th of June, 1929. As my family is Jewish, we emigrated to Holland when Hitler came to power. My father started a business, importing spice and herbs. Things went well for us until 1940. Then the war came, and the Dutch capitulation, followed by the arrival of the Germans. Then things got very bad for the Jews.
You could not do this, and you could not do that. They forced father out of his business. He had to wear yellow stars. I had to turn in my bike. I couldn't go to a Dutch school anymore. I couldn't go to the movies or ride in an automobile or even on a streetcar and a million other things. But somehow, we children still managed to have fun. Yesterday, father told me we were going into hiding. Where, he wouldn't say. At 5 o'clock this morning, mother woke me and told me to hurry and get dressed. I was to put on as many clothes as I could. It would look too suspicious if we walked around carrying suitcases. It wasn't until we were on our way that I learned where we were going. Our hiding place was to be upstairs in the building where father used to have his business. 3 other people would be moving in with us, the Van Daans and their son Peter. Father knew the Van Daans, but we had never met them.
Something's happened to them. I know it.
Now, Curly.
Mr. Frank said they'd be here at 7 o'clock. He said...
They've had to walk 2 miles, you can't
They've
expect...
been picked up. That's what's happened. They've been taken.
You see?
Mrs. Van Daan? Mr. Van Daan? There were too many of the green police on the streets. We had to take a long way round.
Anne!
My wife Edith, and my daughters Margot and Anne, Mr. and Mrs. Van Daan.
I'm sorry there's still so much confusion.
Please, don't think of it. We have plenty of leisure to arrange everything ourselves.
I put the stores of food you sent in here. Your drugs are here. Soap, linen here. Thank you, Minnie. I made up the beds the way Mr. Frank said. Forgive me. I must go. I must get to the other side of town to get some ration books for you.
Ration books? If they see our names on ration books, they'll know we're here.
Don't worry. Your names won't be on them.
It's illegal then, the ration books. We've never done anything illegal before.
We won't be living here exactly according to regulations.
It's the Vestatorin! I must go. I must be out of here and downstairs before the workmen get here. Tomorrow, I'll get you a better bolt for the door to the stairs. You need one that you can throw yourself and open only at my signal. Oh, you'll tell them about the noise?
I'll tell them.
Goodbye then. I'll be up after the workmen leave.
Goodbye, Mary.
Bye, Mary.
What did she mean about the noise?
First, let us take off some of these clothes.
It was a wonder we weren't arrested walking the streets. What, with Petronella with the fur coat on in July and that cat of Peter's crying all the way?
Anne, please! It's all right, I've got 3 more.
Now, about the noise. While the men are in the building below, we must have complete quiet. Every sound can be heard, not only in the offices, but in the workrooms too. So, to be perfectly safe, we must move, only when necessary, and even then in stockinged feet. We must not speak above a whisper. We cannot run any water. We cannot use the sink, or even, forgive me, the WC. No trash must ever be thrown away, which might reveal that someone is living up here. Not even a potato paring. We must burn everything in the stove at night. This is the way we are to live if we are to survive, until it is over.
Until it is over.
After 6 we can read and talk, just as we would at home. And now, I think it would be wise if we were settled before 8 o'clock. This will be our common room, where we'll read, talk, play games, just like one family.
And where are you, Mrs. Frank, staying?
This room is also our bedroom.
That isn't right.
It's your place.
We'll stay here.
Please, I've thought about it for weeks. It's the best arrangement, the only arrangement.
Never, never can we thank you. Don't know what we would have done if it hadn't been for Mr. Frank.
Please, you don't know how your husband helped me when I came to this country. Knowing no one, not able to speak the language, I can never repay him for that. May I help you with your things?
No, come along, Micah.
You'll be all right, Peter. You're not afraid.
Please, Mother.
You too must have some rest, Edith. You didn't close your eyes last night.
I slept, Father. Isn't that funny? I knew it was the last night in my own bed, and yet I slept soundly.
I'm glad, Anne. And now you'll be able to help me sort things through here.
You're sure? I could help. And Anne hasn't had her milk.
I'll give it to her. Peter, Anne, it's best that you take off your shoes now, before you forget.
You're sure you're not tired, Anne?
I feel fine. I'm going to help Father.
Peter, I'm glad you are to be with us.
Yes, Mrs. Frank. What's your cat's name? Mooshy. Mooshy, Mooshy, Mooshy. I love cats. I had one, a darling little cat. But they made me leave her behind. What's yours, a him or a her?
He's a Tom. He doesn't like strangers.
Well, I'll have to stop being a stranger then, won't I? Where did you go to school? Jewish secondary? But that's where Margaret and I go. I never saw you around.
I used to see you. Sometimes.
You did?
In the schoolyard. You were always in the middle of a bunch of kids.
Well, why didn't you ever come over?
I'm sort of a lone wolf.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm taking it off.
But you can't do that. They'll arrest you if you go out without your staff.
Who's going out?
Of course. You're right, of course. You don't need them anymore. I wonder what our friends will say when we don't show up today.
I didn't have any dates with anyone.
Oh, I did. I had a date to go and play ping pong at Yopie's house. Do you know Yopie Devol?
No.
Oh, Yopie's my best friend. I wonder what she'll think when she telephones and there's no answer. Look, there's a mark. What are you going to do with yours?
Burn it.
It's funny. I don't think I can.
You can't throw something they branded you with. Something they made you wear so that they could spit on you.
Yes, but after all, it's the Star of David.
Maybe it's different for a girl.
Forgive me, Peter. Now let me see. We must find you a bed for your cat. Will it be comfortable in that?
Yes, thanks.
I'm so glad you brought your cat. Anne was feeling so terribly about hers. Are you hungry?
No,
We have bread, butter.
no thank you.
You can have it for luncheon then. And tonight it will be our first real supper, like one family. And here is your room. But I warn you, Peter, you can't grow, not an inch. Otherwise you'll have to sleep with your feet out of the skylight.
Thank you.
That's a nice boy, Peter.
Awfully shy, isn't he?
You'll like him, I know.
I certainly hope so, since he's the only boy I'm going to see for months and months.
Anne, there's a bag there. Will you open it?
Mother! Oh, my movie stars, how wonderful! And Queen Philomena!
There's something more. Go on, look.
A diary! I've never had a diary, I've always longed for one. Pencil. Pencil, pencil. I'm going down to the office to get a pencil.
Anne, no! You must never go beyond that door.
Never?
Never. I'm sorry. It isn't safe. But remember this, Anne. There are no walls, there are no bolts, there are no locks that anyone can put on your mind. Meep will bring us books. We'll read poetry, mythology, history. Here's your note. Between us, Anne, being here has certain advantages for you. You remember the battle you had with your mother the other day on the subject of overshoes. You said you'd rather die than wear overshoes. Well, for as long as we're here, you'll never have to wear them. And the coat you inherited from Margot, you won't have to wear that anymore. And the piano.
Yes.
You won't have to practice that. I tell you, it's going to be a fine life for you.
Oh, I thought I'd better get some water. For Mushi.
Of course.
I should be describing what it feels like to go into hiding. But I really don't know yet myself. I only know it's funny never to be able to go outdoors, never to breathe fresh air, never to run, shout, jump. It's the silence in the nights that frightens me most. Every time I hear a creak in the house or a step on the street outside, I'm sure they're coming for us. The days aren't so bad. At least we know that Meep is down there below us in the office. Our protector, we call her. I asked Father what would happen to her if the Nazis found out that she was hiding us. Him said that she would suffer the same fate that we would. Imagine. She knows this, and yet when she comes up here, she's always cheerful and gay, as if there were nothing in the world to bother her. Friday, the 21st of August, 1942. Today I'm going to tell you our general news. Mother is unbearable. She insists on treating me like a baby, which I loathe. Otherwise, things are going better. The weather is.
It's safe now. The last workman's left.
Anne, I'm first for WC.
6 o'clock. School's over.
Have you seen my shoes? Your shoes? You've taken them, haven't you? I don't know what you're talking about. You're going to be sorry.
Am I? Anne, please.
I'll get you.
Are you?
Peter!
Anne!
Peter! Oh, Peter! Peter, where are you going? I'm going to give Mushi's dinner. I'll watch. Don't want... He doesn't like strangers whilst he eats.
Peter, please.
No!
Anne, I think you shouldn't play like that with Peter. It's not dignified.
Dignified? Who cares about dignified? I don't want to be dignified.
You complain that I don't treat you like a grown-up, but when I do, you resent it.
I don't know what's so fun. I don't know what's wrong with that boy.
He isn't used to girls. Give him time.
Time? Isn't 2 months time? I could cry. Margot, come dance with me. I have to help with supper. I tell you, we're going to forget how to dance. When we get out, we'll remember a thing.
May I have the steps?
Of course. Next. Where's Peter? He hasn't finished his lessons, has he? His father will kill him if he finds him up there with that cat and his work not done. Anne, go get him out of there, will you?
Peter, your mother says to come out. I'm giving Lucy his dinner. I'll feed him. Don't want you in there.
Peter!
Fine. You give him his dinner, come right out, you hear?
Now, is that any way to talk to your little girlfriend?
Mother, please, for goodness.
Look at him blush. Look at him.
I'm not. Leave me alone, will you?
It's nothing to be ashamed of to have a little girlfriend. I warn you, Mr. Frank, if this war lasts much longer, we're going to be related. And
I
then...
wonder where Meat is. She's usually so prompt.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry if I don't stay long. I've got a friend waiting for me in there. He goes by the name of Tom. Tom Cat. Tom has the most beautiful whiskers. I only have a little fuzz, but I'm hoping in time. All right, Mrs. Quack Quack. Peter! I heard about you. How you talked so much in class they called you Mrs. Quack Quack. Well, go on then. Tell them the rest. How it was so good. He read it out to the class. Mr. Smith, you made you write a composition. Quack, quack, said Mrs. Quack, quack. You're the most intolerable, insufferable boy I've ever met.
Go on, Annika,
Quack, quack.
give it to him.
Where are all the boys in the world and I have to get locked up with one like you? Quack, quack, from now stay out of my room.
Anne, your hair, you're warm. Are you feeling all right?
I feel fine, Mother.
You haven't a fever, have you?
No.
You know we can't call a doctor here. Ever. There's only one thing to do. Prevent an illness before it comes. Let me see your tongue.
Mother, this is perfectly absurd.
Anne, dear. Don't be such a baby. Let me see your tongue. Otto.
You hear your mother, Anne.
Nah.
You seem all right, but perhaps an aspirin.
For heaven's sake, don't give that child any pills. I waited for 15 minutes this morning for her to come out of the WC.
I was washing my hair.
I think there's nothing the matter with our Anne that a bike ride or a visit to a friend Yopi wouldn't fix. Isn't that so, Anne?
Peter, what were you doing in there? Were you playing with your cat?
He was only up there for a second, pushing his coat away. He's been down there the whole time, doing his lessons.
Anne, you got a very good in your history and an excellent in your Latin.
How about algebra?
I'll have to make a confession. Up until now I've managed to stay ahead of you. But today, you finally caught up. We'll have to get Margot to mark.
Isn't algebra vile of him?
Vile.
How did I do? Let's see. Excellent, and... Oh, excellent.
Well, you should have used the subjunctive here.
Should I? I thought... Mrs. Van Dam, may I try your coat?
Anne, no, it's all right. But be careful with it. My father gave me that the year before he died. He always gave me the best money he could buy.
Mrs. Van Dam, did you have a lot of boyfriends before you were married?
Anne! That's a personal question. It's not courteous to ask personal questions.
But it's all right. Our house was always swarming with boys. When I was a girl, we had...
Oh God, not again.
Shut up. One summer, we had a big house in Hilversum. The boys came buzzing round like bees round a jam pot. And when I was 16, we were wearing our skirts very short in those days, and I had good-looking legs. I still have them. I may not be as pretty as I used to be, but I still have my legs. How about it, Mr. Frank?
All right, we see them.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Mr. Frank.
Mother, please.
Oh, I embarrass you, do I? Well, I just hope the girl you marry has as good. My father used to worry about me with so many boys hanging round. He told me if any of them gets fresh, you say to him, remember, Mr. So-and-so, remember I'm a lady.
Remember, Mrs. So-and-so, remember I'm a lady.
Look at you talking that way in front of her. Don't you know she writes everything down in that diary?
So what if she does? I'm only telling the truth. Meat must have the radio on.
Haven't you finished your work yet?
No.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
All right. I'm a dunce. I'm a hopeless case. Why do I go on?
You're not hopeless. It's just you haven't got anyone to help you like the girls have. Maybe Mr. Frank could help you.
I'm sure that his father...
No, not me. Cannot do anything with him. Just not listen to me. You can go ahead, if you want.
How about it, Peter? Should we make our school co-educational?
You're an angel, Mr. Frank, an angel. I don't know why I didn't meet you before I met that one there. You sit down here. Peter, you listen to Mr. Frank.
I think it would be best if we went into Peter's room.
Yes, that's right. Peter, you listen to Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank is a highly educated man.
I can hear someone talking.
Isn't it bad enough around here without your sprawling everywhere?
If you didn't smoke so much, you wouldn't be so bad-tempered.
Am I smoking? Do you see me smoking?
It's a disgusting habit anyway. It's a good time to
Oh,
break
will you
yourself.
stop it?
You're smoking up all our money. Do you know that?
Will you shut up? And what are you looking at?
I never thought grown-ups quarrelled.
It's not a quarrel, it's a discussion, and I've never heard a child so rude before.
Aye, rude.
Yes.
Anne, will you fetch me my knitting? I best remember to ask Meat for some more wool when she comes.
I need some hairpins and some soap. I'll make a list.
Anne, do you have some library books for me?
It's a wonder Meep has a life of her own the way she runs errands for us. Please, Meep, get me some starch. Please, Meep, take my hair out, have it cut. Did you know she's got a fiancé? His name's Bert. Meep's afraid that the Nazis might ship him off to a German war camp. They're doing that with some of the young
Do you
soldiers.
ever stop talking? You're supposed to be quiet for just 5 minutes, just 5 minutes.
Come here, Anne. It's time for your glass of milk.
Talk, talk, talk. I've never heard such a child. Where's my... Every night it's just talk, talk, talk. Where's my...
What are you looking for?
My pipe. Have you seen my pipe?
What good's a pipe? You haven't any tobacco.
At least there'll be something to hold in my mouth. Margot, have you seen my pipe?
It was on the table last night.
I know. Anne, have you seen my pipe? Anne!
Anne, Mr. Van Dam is talking to you.
I'm allowed to talk now.
The most aggravating little... The problem with you is you've been spoiled. What you need is a good old-fashioned spanking.
Well, remember, Mr. So-and-so, remember I'm the lady.
Why aren't you nice and quiet like your sister Margot? Why do you have to show off all the time? Let me give you a little bit of advice. Men don't like that in a woman. They like a woman who will listen to them once in a while, who will cook and clean.
I'd open my veins first. I'd cut my throat. I'm going to be remarkable. I'm going to go to Paris
Paris?
to study music and art.
Yeah.
I'm going to be amazing, a famous dancer or singer or something wonderful.
You clumsy little fool. My beautiful fur coat that my father gave me.
I'm sorry.
Do you know how much this cost? And now look at it. Look at it.
I'm so sorry, Mrs. Van Dam.
I could just kill you for this. I could just kill you.
Petronella, come back for supper!
Anne, you must not behave in that way.
It was an accident. Anyone can have an
I
accident.
don't mean that. I mean that answering back. You must not answer back. They are our guests. You don't see Margot getting into arguments with them, do you?
And have them walk all over me the way they do her. No
I'm
thanks.
not afraid that anyone's going to walk all over you, Anne. I'm afraid you'll walk all over them. I don't know what happens to you, Anne. You are wild, self-willed. If I ever talk to my mother the way you talk to
It's
me...
not like that anymore. Yes, Mother. No, Mother. Anything you say, Mother. I've got to fight for myself. I've got to make something for myself.
It isn't necessary to fight to do it. Margot doesn't fight, and isn't
Oh,
she...
Margot. That's all I ever hear from anyone anymore. Why can't I be more like Margot?
Come on, Anne, don't be so...
Everything she does is right, and everything I do is wrong. You're all against me, all of you, and you the worst.
Let's put the soup on the stove. If there's anyone who still cares to eat. Margot, will you take the bread out for me? I don't know how you can go on living like this. I can't say a word to Anne. She flies at me.
You know, Anne, in half an hour she'll be out here laughing and joking.
And I told your father it wouldn't work. But no. He had to ask them, he said. He owed it to them, he said. Well, he knows now that I was right. These quarrels, this bickering. Shush. Every time I hear that sound, my heart stops.
It's me.
Father,
Thank you, Margot. Has everyone his list?
I'll get my books. Here's your list.
Is it me?
Yes, and I'm so sorry about Mrs. Van Daan's coat. I never should have touched it.
Don't worry about it.
Is there anything that I can do?
She'll be fine.
Meep has something to talk over with us. Something has happened. Something demands an immediate decision.
What is it, me?
Usually, when I come up here, I try to bring you some bit of good news. But today, something has happened. Dirk, my fiancé, he tells me he has a Jewish friend, a dentist. He says he's in trouble. He begged me, could I do anything for this man? Could I find him a hiding place? So I've come to you. I know it's a terrible thing to ask of you, living as you are, but would you take him in with you?
Of course we will.
It'll only be for a night or two until I can find some other place. This happened so suddenly that I didn't know where else to turn.
Where is he?
Downstairs in the office.
Good. Bring him up.
His name is Dussel.
Dussel. I think I know him.
I'll get him.
Forgive me. I spoke without consulting you, but I knew you'd feel as I do.
There's no need for you to consult anyone. After all, it is your place. You should feel to do as you please. The only thing I feel, with as little food as it is, and to add another person,
We can stretch the food a little. It's only for a few days.
do you want to bet?
I think it's fine to have him, but where are you going to put him, Otto? Where?
Well, I have an idea. I'll come in here, Margot can take Peter's room, and Peter can share our room with Mr. Dussel. That's right. We could do that.
No, Margot. Neither you nor Anne can sleep up there. Mushi has caught some rats, but Peter's brave. He doesn't mind.
Well, how about this? I'll come in here, Margot can share with Mr. Dussel.
I don't know about that, Anne. I don't think it would be proper for Margot to sleep with her. Please, just, Margot, fetch your things. Go help her, Anne.
Why Margot?
Because it wouldn't be proper for Margot to sleep with her. Please, Anne, don't argue, please.
You don't mind sharing your room with Mr. Dussel, do you, Anne?
No, of course not.
Where's the cognac?
It's here, Otto, but I was saving it in case of illness.
I don't think we could find a better time to use it. Peter, will you get me 5 glasses?
What's happening? What's going on?
Someone's living in with us.
In here. You're right.
It's only for a night or two, until Meat finds in another place.
Yeah.
This is Mr. Frank. Mr. Oscar Frank?
Yes. May I take your things? Mr. and Mrs. Van Daan, their son Peter, my wife Edith, and my daughters, Margot and Anne.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. Thank you all. Mr. Dussel, I leave you in good hands. Oh, Dirk's coat.
What can I say to thank you?
Meep, she's our lifeline. Without her, we couldn't survive.
Please, you make me seem very heroic. It isn't that at all. I simply don't like the Nazis.
I know. No one's going to tell us Dutchmen what to do with our damn Jews.
Pay no attention to Mr. Frank. I'll be up tomorrow to see that they're treating you right. Don't trouble to come down again, Mr. Frank. Peter will bolt the door after me. Won't you, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Peter. I'll do it.
Good night.
Good night. Do sit down, Mr. Dussel.
I'm dreaming. I know, I can't believe my eyes. Mr. Otto Frank, here. You're not in Switzerland then? A woman told me she'd been to your house. The entire place was in disorder. There was dishes in the sink and a dress in the wastebasket on a piece of paper. A dress in Zurich. She said she must have escaped there.
Father put that there purposely, so people would think that very thing.
And you've been here this whole time?
All this time, ever since July.
Oh.
It worked. Mr. Dussel says he thinks people think we've escaped to Zurich.
I'm glad. And now, let's have a drink to welcome our guest, Mr. Dussel. To Mr. Dussel, we're honoured to have you with us.
Welcome.
That was good.
I'm sure me warned you won't get much food here. What, with 3 rations booked between 7 of us and now you making it 8?
Mr. Van Daan, you don't realise what's happening outside that you should warn me everything like that. Right here in Amsterdam, every day. Hundreds are going missing. People that I know, you know, the Hallensteins, the Bezos.
Oh, no.
They get their call up notice, go to Jewish theatre on such and such day and hour, bring only what you can carry in a rucksack. And if you refuse your call-up notice, they come to your house and ship you off to my house in the death camp.
We didn't realise that things had got so much worse.
Forgive me for speaking so.
What about the DeVoes? Their daughter, Yopi?
They're gone
Gone.
with all the others.
What Yopi?
There were some people that lived near us, called Wagner.
I'm sure we all have lots of questions we would like to ask Mr. Dussel, but I'm sure you'd like to get settled before supper. I hope you won't be too uncomfortable here without a room alone. We've had to make strict rules, a schedule of hours. We'll tell you later. Anne, would you like to take Mr. Dussel to his room?
Of course.
Forgive me if I haven't really expressed my gratitude to all of you. It's been such a shock to me. I've always thought of myself as Dutch. I was born in Holland, my father was born in Holland, and my grandfather. Now after all these years, if you excuse me.
Well, here we are. The news sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? It's so different from what Meep tells us. Meep says things are improving.
I like it better the way Meek tells it.
You'll be sharing with me, Mr. Dussel.
I don't mind as well with them. I haven't had to adjust myself to others.
Here,
I hope you're better.
let me help you. You sit down. Have you always lived there? You no family at all?
No one.
You must be awfully lonely.
I'm used to it.
Have you no pets? A dog or a cat?
I have an allergy to fur-bearing animals. They give me asthma.
Oh no. Peter has a cat.
Here? He has it here?
Yes, but we hardly ever see it.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's hope so.
You'll be sharing with me. So, this is my bed, and that was Margot's bed, where you'll sleep.
Your father's working schedule.
Yes, it's mostly about times to be quiet, times for the WC. You can use it now if you like.
No, thank you.
I suppose you think it's awful, me talking of a thing like that. But you don't know how important it can be, especially when you're scared. About this room, the way that Margot and I did it. I would take it in the afternoons for whatever, and Margot would take it in the mornings for reading, studying and lessons. Would that be alright with you?
I'm not my best in the mornings.
Okay, you take it in the mornings then.
Yeah.
We have dinner at 6:30.
Then if you don't mind, I'd like to lie down for 10 minutes before I find it helps with digestion.
Of course. I hope it won't bother you. I seem to be able to get everyone's backs up around here.
I've always been very good with children. My patients will always bring their children to me because they know I get on with them very well. So don't you worry about that.
Thank you, Mr. Dussel.
And yesterday, I finished Sissy Van Marksveld's latest book. I think she is a first-class writer. I shall definitely let my children read her. Monday, 21st of September, 1942. Mr. Dussel and I had another battle yesterday. Yes, Mr. Dussel. According to him, nothing, I repeat, nothing is right about me. My appearance, my character, my manners. While he was going on at me, I thought, sometime I'll give you such a smack that you'll fly right up to the ceiling. Why is it that every grown-up thinks he knows the way to bring up children? Particularly the ones who never had any. I keep wishing Peter was a girl instead of a boy. Then I'd have someone to talk to. Margot's a darling, but she takes everything way too seriously. To pause for a moment on the subject of Mrs. Van Dam, I must tell you that her attempts to flirt with father are getting her nowhere. Him, thank goodness, won't play.
Save me! Save me!
It's all right, darling. It's all right. It was just a dream. Just a dream, darling. Please don't bother like Mr. Dussel. It's all right, darling. It's all right.
Something must be done about that child. Screaming like that.
quiet, Mr. Dussel. Anne will be herself in a moment or
Frank,
two.
I'm going to WC, the only place where there's peace.
What is it? What's happening?
A nightmare. She's having a nightmare.
I thought someone was murdering her.
Unfortunately, no.
Thank you, Peter. Go back to bed.
Good night.
Would you like a glass of water? Oh, poor darling. Was it a very bad dream? Perhaps if you told me about it, then...
I'd rather not.
Of course. You try to get some sleep then, eh? I'll stay right here beside you until you drift off.
You don't have to.
Oh, but I'd like to. Very much, really.
I'd rather you didn't.
Of course, darling. Is there anything else that I can get for you?
Can you get farther?
Of course. See the Langschlag deer?
Edith, Liebe, Schau.
Es macht nichts. Geh zu ihr. She wants nothing off me.
It's a phase. Most girls go through it. They turn to their fathers at this age. They give all their love to their fathers.
You weren't like this. You didn't shut me out.
She'll get over it.
Oh, Father, I need you to get me the grave, please. They knocked on the door and they dragged me away just as they did with Yopi.
Do you want me to read for you for a while?
No, just sit with me. Was I awful? Was I terribly loud?
No. Just lie quietly now.
Oh, I'm a coward. I'm so disappointed in myself. I think I've conquered my fear, and then something happens, and I run to you like a baby. I love you, Father. I don't love anyone but you.
Anne, it's fine for me to hear that you love your father, but I'd be happier if you said you loved your mother too. You hurt her out there.
I can't help it. She doesn't understand me.
She's crying now. She's out there crying.
Oh, I'm awful, Father. And the worst thing is, I know I am, but I can't help it. Don't say it's just a phase. Help me.
There's very little that we parents can do for our children. You can point the way, set a good example. The rest you need to do for yourself. You need to build your own character.
I have a good side, Father. A sweeter, nicer side. But I'm trying to switch them around and put the bad on the inside and good on the outside.
The air raids are getting worse. They come over day and night. The noise is terrifying. Pim says there should be music to our ears. The more planes, the sooner will come the end of the war. Mrs. Van Daan pretends to be a fatalist. What will be, will be. But when the planes come over, who is the most frightened? No one else but Petra and her. Monday, the 9th of November, 1942. Wonderful news! The Allies have landed in Africa! Pim looks for an early finish to the war. Just for fun, he asked each of us what was the first thing we wanted to do once we got out of here. Mrs. Van Daan longs to be at home with her favourite things. Her needlepoint chairs, the Beck-sign piano her father gave her. Best the man could buy. Peter would like to go to a movie. Mr. Dussel wants to get back to his dentist drill. He's afraid he's losing his touch. Oh, for myself, there's so many things. To ride a bike again, to laugh till my belly aches, to have new clothes from the skin out, to have a hot tub and wallow in it for hours, to be back in school with my friends.
Praised be thou, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe. We kindle this Hanukkah light to celebrate the great and wonderful deeds wrought through the zeal with which God filled the hearts of the heroic Maccabees 2,000 years ago. They fought against indifference, against tyranny and oppression, and they restored our temple to us. May these lights remind us that we should ever look to God, whence cometh our help. Amen.
Amen.
I lift up mine eyes unto the mountains, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord shall keep thee from all evil. He shall keep thy soul from this time forth and forevermore. Amen.
Amen. That was very moving. Sit down, sit down.
It's not over yet. There's lots more songs and presents.
Presents?
Not this year, unfortunately.
But everyone gives presents on Hanukkah. Everyone.
Like on St. Nicholas's Day.
No, not like your St. Nicholas Day. What kind of Jew are you that you don't know Hanukkah?
I remember particularly the candles. When there are 8 candles, it is truly beautiful.
What I remember best is the presents. 8 days of presents, and each day they got better and better.
We are all here, alive. That is present enough.
No, it's not. I've got something.
And the potato pancakes.
Don't talk about that.
I make the best latkes you've ever tasted.
Invite us all next year in your own home.
God willing.
God willing.
Presents!
Presents?
What's that on her head?
Shade. Now, first is for Margaret. Come on, read out loud.
You've never lost your temper, you never will, I fear. You are so good, but if you should, put all your crosswords here.
A new crossword puzzle book. Where did you get it? It's not new. I rubbed it all out. But if you wait, you'll forget, and you can do it again.
It's wonderful, Anne, thank you. You'd never know it wasn't new.
Now, is for Mrs. Van Dyne.
But this is awful. I haven't anything for anyone. I never thought.
This is all Anne's idea.
What is it?
It's hair shampoo. I made it out of odds and ends of soap and the last of my toilet water.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you.
Now it's for something truly, truly special. For Mr. Van Dam. Cigarettes.
Cigarettes?
2 of them. Pim found some old pipe tobacco in the lining of his jacket pocket. And we made them. Or rather, Pim did.
Go on, Pussy, show it. Well, look at that.
It's real tobacco. Might have a bit of fluff in it, but...
Thank you, Anne, thank you.
Next is for... Mushi. Oh, on behalf of Mushi, I thank you. And this is for you, from your very own Miss Quack Quack. Well, open it. Aren't you going to open it?
I'm scared to. I just know something's gonna jump out and
Oh,
hit
it's
me.
nothing like that, really.
What is it, Peter? Go on, show it.
It's a razor.
A what?
A safety razor.
You didn't make that out of odds and ends.
It's not new, it's second hand. Meep got it for me. But you do really need a razor now.
For what?
It's got a moustache.
How do you want to get rid of that? Put some milk on it, let the cat lick it off.
You think you're funny, don't you?
Look, it's going to try it. I can't wait.
I'm going to give Mushi his present.
Now, for Mother.
Thank you, darling.
Here's an IOU that I promise to pay. 10 hours of doing whatever you say. Signed, Anne Frank. Oh, darling.
10 hours of doing whatever, you're told.
That's right.
You wouldn't want to sell that, Mrs. Frank.
Never. This is the most precious gift I've ever received.
Now, for Father.
Anne, I wasn't supposed to have a present.
It's a muffler. I knitted it at night in the dark. I'm afraid it looks better in the dark.
It's fine. It fits perfectly. Thank you, Anne.
Now, last but certainly never leaves. My roommate, Mr. Dussel.
Something for me? You have something for me? Capsules. 2 capsules?
They're earplugs.
Earplugs?
They're not real. I made them out of old cotton and candle wax. But put them in your ears, see if they work. Can you hear me, Mr. Dussel?
Huh?
Can you hear me, Mr. Dussel?
I'm sorry, Anne, I've got them stuck in. I can't get out. Thank you, Anne. Thank you. I don't know when she did it. It was a bit cute of her.
Now for the song. The song is the whole thing. Mr. Dussel, have you heard the Hanukkah song? Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, the sweet salad.
I'm afraid, Anne, we shouldn't sing that song tonight. It's a song of rejoice. One is apt to become too enthusiastic.
Oh, please, Father, I promise not to shout.
Go on then, but quietly now.
Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah.
You! I told you, get that thing out of here!
What's the matter with you? Haven't you got any sense? Get that cat out of here!
Cat?
You Harvey, get it out of here!
I have no cat.
It doesn't have to be a cat. Clothes are enough when he comes out of the room.
Don't worry, it won't bother you anymore. We're getting rid of it.
Why should you listen to me?
I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it because I'm sick of seeing that cat eat all our food.
That's not true. I only give them scraps. Bones.
Don't tell me. Damn cat looks better than any of us.
Can't believe you, Father. Mr. Van Dam, you can't do that. That's Peter's cat.
You're not going and the cat's not going. Now please, this is Hanukkah. It's the time to celebrate. What's the matter with you two? Come on, Anne, let's have the song.
I think we should first blow out the candle. Then we'll have something for tomorrow night.
Well, Father, you're supposed to let it burn itself out.
I'm sure that God understands shortages. Praise be thou, O Lord our God, who has sustained us throughout this festival.
God Almighty. Can you hear anything?
No, I think they've gone.
It's the Green Police. They found us.
Or is it the Gestapo looking for papers?
Or a thief looking for money.
You've got to do something. Quick, quick, before they come back.
There's nothing we can do.
I'm going down.
No, Father, no. There may be someone waiting. It may be a trap.
Hush, darling. Margot, stay close to me.
Oh, dear, go get our money. Go find our money. I heard you can buy the Green Police off. So much ahead.
Just keep still.
Don't just stand there. Do you want to be dragged off to a concentration
Will
camp?
you keep
Do something,
still?
I tell you.
Somebody go and get Father.
I'll go.
Haven't you done enough?
It was a thief. They took the cash box and the radio. The noise must have scared them off. I think it would be good to have some light.
Are you sure it's all right?
The danger is past. Don't look so terrified.
Says the danger's gone. We're in more danger than we've ever been in.
Mr. Dussel, will you be still?
Frank's this clumsy fool. Someone else knows we're up here hiding. Someone knows we're up here, yes. But who is that someone? A thief. You think a thief is going to go to the Green Police and say, I was robbing a place the other day and I heard a noise up over my head? You think a thief is going to say that? Do you? Yes, I think he will. You're crazy. I think someday he'll get caught and he'll strike up a bargain with the Green Police. How he knows where some Jews are hiding.
He's right.
Let's go, Father. Let's go anywhere.
Go where?
Yes, where?
Have we lost all faith, all hope? A moment ago, we thought they'd come for us. We thought it was the end, but it wasn't. Come on, Anne, let's have the song.
Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, the sweet celebration. Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, the sweet celebration.
Saturday, 1st of January, 1944. Another year has begun and we find ourselves still in our hiding place. We have been here now for 1 year, 5 months, and 25 days. It seems that our life is at a standstill. We are all a little thinner. The Van Dan's discussions are as violent as ever. Mother still does not understand me. But then, I don't understand her either. There is one great change, however. A change in myself. I read somewhere that girls my age don't feel quite certain of themselves. That they become quiet within and begin to take notice of the miracle that is happening inside their bodies. I think that what is happening to me is so wonderful. Not only what can be seen, but what is taking place inside. Each time it has happened, I have this feeling that I have a sweet secret. And in spite of any pain, I long for the time when I shall feel that secret within me again.
It's me!
Wake up, everyone! It's me! Baby's here. Me, what a delightful surprise!
I came to bring you New Year's greetings.
Oh, you shouldn't. You should have at least one day to yourself.
Don't say that. It's so wonderful to see her. I can smell the wind and the cold in her clothes. How are you, Margot? Feeling any better?
I'm alright.
We filled her up with every kind of pill so she wouldn't cough or make a noise.
Oh, hello, me.
Me, have you seen Mushi? Have you seen him anywhere around?
I'm sorry, Peter. I asked the whole neighbourhood if they'd seen a black and white cat. They said no.
Look what meat brought us.
A cake!
A cake? I'll get some plates.
Oh, it's gorgeous, Nepia, but you shouldn't have. You must have used all of your sugar rations for weeks. Isn't it beautiful?
It's been ages since I even saw a cake. Not since you brought us one last year. Do you remember? New Year's Day. I'll never forget it because it had peace in 1943 on it. Look at that, peace in 1944. Well, it has to come sometime, you know.
Here you are, Latka. How many of us are there?
None for me, thank you.
Oh, please, you must.
I couldn't.
Good, that leaves 7 of us.
8. There's always been 8.
I just assumed Margot wouldn't want any.
Why wouldn't she?
I think it wouldn't harm her.
Alright, I just didn't want it to start copying again.
And please, let Mrs. Frank divide the cake.
It's not
What's the
Mrs. Frank's
difference?
cake, is it me? It's for all of us.
Mrs. Frank divides things better.
What's she
Stop
trying to
wasting
say?
time.
Don't I always give everyone exactly the same? Don't I?
Forget it, Chloe.
No, I want an answer. Don't I?
Yes, except Mr. Van Dan always gets a little bit more.
That's a lie.
Oh, please. You see what a little sugar does to us? It goes straight to our heads.
Here you are, Mrs. Frank.
Thank you.
Me. Do you think that maybe Mushi went back to our house? They see that cat. Do you ever get over that? I mean, I suppose you could.
I'll try, Peter. The first minute I get, I'll try. But I'm afraid with him gone a week.
For God's sake. Sometimes I had a nice big meal of that cat. Will you just let it go?
Oh, this looks delicious, me.
Delicious.
Dirksen look who can get a girl who can cook like this. That reminds me, there's something I'd like you to do for me.
Where are you going? What are you going to do?
What's wrong? Father says he's going to sell her fur coat. She loves that old fur coat.
Can you be so silly to worry about a fur coat in times like this?
Mind your own darn business.
Not the
for
coat,
sake.
please.
We need the money.
No, don't give it back. It's mine. Give it back, you here. My father gave me that. You didn't give it to me. You have no right. Give it back.
Just a little discussion about the advisability of selling this coat. As I've told Mrs. Van Dam many times, it's very selfish of her to keep such clothing when people outside are in such desperate need of it. I'm sure it'll fetch a good price. Also, I need you to get me some cigarettes. Any, I'll take any, just get as many as you can.
They're terribly difficult to come by, Mr. Van Dam, but I'll do my best. I have some contracts. I wonder if you'd go over them with me.
Of course.
If we could go downstairs.
What's
Forgive me, I won't keep him but a minute.
What's happened? Something's happened, hasn't it, me?
No, really, I want your father's advice.
Something's gone wrong, I know it.
If it's something that concerns us here, it's better that we all hear it.
The children.
What they'd imagine is worse than any reality.
It's a man in the storeroom. I don't know whether or not you remember him. How, about 50, nearsighted, heavy-set. He came with us just before you left.
He was from Utrecht.
That's the man. A couple of weeks ago, when I was in the storeroom, he came in and closed the door. He asked me, "How's Mr. Frank? Will you hear from Mr. Frank?" I told him I only knew a rumour that you were in Switzerland. He said he'd heard that rumour too, but he thought I might know something more. I didn't pay any attention to it, but then, yesterday a thing happened. He came in with some invoices for me to sign. As I was going through them, I looked up. He was standing, staring at the bookcase. Your bookcase. He said he thought you remembered a door there. Wasn't there a door there that used to go up to the loft? Then he asked for more money. 20 guilders more a week.
Blackmail.
20 guilders? It's very modest blackmail.
That's just the beginning.
You know what I think? I think it was the thief that was down there that night. He knows we're here.
What did you tell him? How was it left?
I said I had to think about it. What do I do? Pay him the money? Or take a chance on firing him? I don't know.
For God's sake, don't fire him. Pay him what he asks. Keep him here where you can keep an eye on him.
We'll pay him half. We'll soon find out if it's blackmail or not.
This may be all my imagination. You get to a point these days when you suspect everyone and everything. Again and again. On some simple look or word, I found myself...
The telephone, ringing on a holiday. What does that mean?
It's my fiancé. I told him to call me when he got out of church. I'll pay him half then. Goodbye. We'll hope for the best.
Thank your son for this. Smashing that light. It's just a matter of time now.
Sometimes I wish the end would come, whatever it is.
Margot!
Then at least we know where we were.
You should be ashamed of yourself, talking that way. Think of how lucky we are. Think of the hundreds dying in the war every day. Think of the people in the concentration camps.
What's the good of that? What's the good of thinking of misery when you're already miserable? That's stupid. We're young. Margot, Peter and I. You grown-ups have had your chance, but look at us. If we begin thinking of all the horror in the world, we're lost. We're trying to hold on to some kind of ideals when everything, ideals, hopes, everything is being destroyed. It isn't our fault that the world is such a mess. We weren't around when this started, so don't try to blame it on us.
She makes it sound like we started the war. Did we start the war?
She left her cake. You left this.
Thanks.
I thought you were fine just now. You know just how to talk to them. You know just how to say it. I'm no good. I never can think, especially when I'm mad. That Dussel. What he said about Mushi, someone eating him. All I could think was, I just wanted to hit him.
You're wrong about me. I do it all wrong. I say too much. I go too far. I hurt people's feelings.
I don't think you do that. I think you're just fine. What I mean to say is, if it wasn't for you, then
I don't know. Do you really mean it, Peter? Do you really mean it?
I said it, didn't I?
I get so mad. They form their opinions about everything. But look at us. We're facing problems that no one else our age have ever had to face. And just when you think you've solved them, bang, something comes along and you have to start all over again.
At least you've got someone you can talk to.
Not really. Mother, I can't discuss anything serious with her. Father's all right. We can talk about everything. Everything except one thing. Mother. He simply won't talk about her.
I think your father's fine.
Oh, he is, Peter. He is. But I suppose no one can replace school and play and friends your own age. Or near your age. Can it?
I suppose you miss your friends and all.
It isn't just... Isn't it funny? You and I. Here we are spending every minute, almost every day, for a year and a half together. And this is the first time we've ever really talked. It's nice to have someone to talk to. It helps you let off steam.
Well, anytime you want to let off steam, you're welcome to come into my room.
You want to be careful how you say that. I can get up an awful lot of steam.
It's all right with me.
Do you really mean it, Peter?
I said it, didn't I?
We've had bad news. The people from whom meat got our ration books have been arrested. So we've had to cut down on our food. Our stomachs are so empty that they rumble and make strange noises, all in different keys. Mr. Van Daan's is deep and low like a bass fiddle. Mine is high, whistling like a flute. As we all sit around waiting for supper, it's like an orchestra tuning up. It only needs Toscanini to raise his baton and be off in the Ride of the Valkyries. Monday, 6th of March, 1944. The Americans have landed on the southern tip of Italy. Father looks for a quick finish to the war. Mr. Dussel is waiting every day for the warehouse man to demand more money. Have I been skipping too much from one subject to another? I can't help it. I feel that spring is coming. I feel it in my whole body and soul. Oh, I'm longing, so longing. For everything. For friends, for someone to talk to, someone who understands, someone young, who feels as I do.
Will you please let me in my room? Just a minute, dear Mr. Dussel. How is that? How does that look?
Fine.
You didn't even look.
Of course I did. It's fine.
Margot, tell me. Am I terribly ugly?
Stop fishing.
No, tell me.
Of course you're not. You've got nice eyes and a lot of animation and
A little vague, aren't you?
May I come in, girls?
come in, Mother.
Mr. Dussel's impatient to get in
He
here.
takes this room for himself the entire day.
You're not going in again tonight to see Peter, are you?
That is my intention.
You've already spent a great deal of time in there today.
I was in there exactly twice. Once to get the dictionary and a quarter of an hour before supper.
You're not afraid that you're disturbing him?
Mother, I do have some intuition.
Then may I ask for this? Please don't stay up late.
You sound like Mrs. Van Daan.
Oh, no. I don't mean to suggest anything wrong with it. I just wish that you wouldn't expose yourself to criticism, that you wouldn't give Mrs. Van Daan an opportunity to be unpleasant.
Mrs. Van Daan doesn't need an opportunity to be unpleasant.
Everyone's on edge, and this is just one more thing.
I'm sorry, Mother, I'm going. I'm not going to let Petronella Van Daan spoil our friendship.
Why don't you two talk in the main room? It's taken a lot of trouble. It's hard on Mother having to hear these remarks and never say a word.
Why doesn't she say a word? I think it's ridiculous to just stand there and take it.
You don't understand Mother at all, do you? She's not like you. It's not in her nature to fight back.
Anyway, the only person I worry about is you. I feel terribly guilty about you.
What about?
Well, every time I go into Peter's room, I have a feeling I may be hurting you. If it were me, I'd be wild. I'd be desperately jealous. If it were me.
Well, I'm not.
You're not jealous? Really? Truly you're not?
Of course I'm jealous. I'm jealous that you've got something to get up in the morning for. But jealous of you and Peter, no.
Maybe there's nothing to be jealous of. Maybe I'm just taking the place of this cat. Are you sure you wouldn't like to come in with us sometime?
I have a book.
Will you please let me in my room?
Thank you very much. My God, look at her. I don't know how good it is to have a son. I hardly ever see him. He wouldn't care if I killed myself. Just a minute, Anne. I'd like to have a word with my son before we go up there. Now, Peter, I don't want you staying up there till all hours of the night. You're a grown boy. You need your sleep.
Anne won't stay up late. She's going to bed promptly at 9, aren't you, Anne?
Yes, Mother. May we go now?
Are you asking me? I didn't know I had anything to say about it.
Listen for the chimes and...
In my day, it was the boys who called on the girls, not the girls on the boys.
You know how young people like to feel that they have secrets. Peter's room is the only place where they can talk.
Talk. That's not what they called it in my day.
Aren't they awful? Aren't they impossible? Treating us as if we were in the nursery.
Don't let it bother you. It doesn't bother me.
I suppose you can't really blame them. They think back to what they were like at our age. Think of how more advanced we are. Think of all the wonderful conversations we've had. Oh, I forgot. I was going to bring you some more pictures.
Oh, no, these are fine. Thanks.
Are you sure? Maybe just bought me some new ones.
Maybe later.
I remember when I got that. I bet Yogi I could eat 5 ice cream cones. We used to have heavenly times. We finished up the ice cream at the Delphi or the Oasis, where the Jews were allowed. I'd like to go back to it someday, or a week. And now I know I'd be terribly bored. I think more seriously about life now. I want to be a writer, or some such thing. I love writing. What do you want to do?
Oh, I thought I might work someplace on a farm, maybe. Or something. Something that doesn't require much brains.
You shouldn't talk that way. You have the most awful inferiority complex.
I know I'm not smart.
That's not true. You're 100 times better than I am at dozens of things, like arithmetic and algebra, and well, you're 1,000,000 times better than I am at algebra. You like Margot, don't you? From the start you liked her much more than me.
Oh, I don't know.
It's okay. Everyone prefers her. She's so smart and beautiful and funny, and I'm not.
I don't think that.
No, I've never been a beauty. I never have been, and I never shall be.
I don't agree with that at all. I think you're pretty.
That's not true.
And another thing. You've changed. From at first, I mean.
How so?
Well, I used to think you were awful noisy.
And what do you think now, Peter? How have I changed?
You're quieter now.
I'm glad you don't just hate me.
Oh, I never said that.
I bet when you get out of here, you'll never think of me again.
That's crazy.
You're going to get back with your friends and think, now what did I ever see in that Miss Quack Quack?
I didn't really have any friends.
Peter, everyone has friends.
Not me. Don't need them. Get along just fine without them.
Does that mean you'll get along just fine without me?
No. No. If they're all like you, it'd be different.
Peter, did you ever kiss a girl?
Yes. Once.
Was she pretty?
I don't know. I was blindfolded. It was at a party. One of those kissing games.
Oh, well, I suppose that doesn't really count then, does it?
Didn't for me.
I've been kissed once, by a friend of father's. He kissed my hand. But I wouldn't say that counted either, would you?
No.
I know Margot would never kiss a man unless she was engaged to them. And Mother never touched a man before Pim. But I don't know. Things are so different now. What do you think?
Well, I'd suppose it depends on the girl. With some, anything they do is wrong. But with others, it wouldn't necessarily be wrong to do it with them. I've always thought that one too.
9 o'clock. I have to go.
That's right.
Good night.
You won't let them stop you from coming?
No. I might be in my diary at some time. There's a lot about you.
What about me?
Well, I wouldn't want you to read some of it. I thought you were nothing. Just like you thought of me. But things have changed. Good night, Margot. Good night, Mrs. Van Dam.
By this time, we all know each other so well that if anyone starts to tell a story, the rest can finish it for him. We're having to cut down still further on our meals. What's more, the rats have been at work again. They've carried off some of our precious food. Even Mr. Dussel wishes now that Mushi was here. Thursday, the 20th of April, 1944. Invasion fever is mounting every day. Meep tells us that people outside talk of nothing else. For myself, life has become much more pleasant. I often go to Peter's room after supper. Oh, don't think I'm in love, because I'm not. But it does make life more bearable to have someone with whom you can exchange views. No more tonight. P.S. I must be honest. I must confess that I actually live for the next meeting. Oh, is there anything lovelier than to sit under the skylight and feel the sun under your cheeks and have a darling boy in your arms? Well, I admit now that I'm glad the Van Dams had a son and not a daughter. I've outgrown another dress. That's the third. I'm having to wear Margot's clothes after all. I'm working hard on my French, and I'm now reading La Belle Nivernaise.
Otto, komm schnell!
Was ist los? Was ist passiert?
Steal das Essen!
Give me that! Lucy, what is it? Wait, good for nothing!
Mr. Dussel, get off of him, please! Peter, come help me!
Bring it over! Selfish!
Lucy, what is it? What's happened?
The bread! He was stealing the bread!
All this time we thought it was the rats.
Mr. Van Dam, how could you?
I'm hungry.
We're all of us hungry! I see the children getting thinner and thinner! Your own son, Peter! I've heard him moan in his sleep, he's so hungry. And you come in the night and steal food that should go to them, to the children!
He needs more food than the rest of us. He's used to more. He's a big man.
And you're worse than he is. You're a mother, and yet you sacrifice your child to this man, this.
Edith!
Don't think I haven't seen you. Always saving the choicest bits for him. I've watched you day after day, and I've held my tongue. But not any longer, not after this. Now I want him to go, I want him to get out of here.
Get out of here?
Just that, take your things and get out.
You are speaking in anger. You cannot possibly mean what you are saying.
I mean exactly that.
For 2 long years, we have lived here side by side. We've respected each other's rights. We've managed to live in peace. Are we going to throw that all away? I know this won't happen again, will it, Mr. Van Dam?
No.
He steals once, he'll steal again.
Edith, please. Let us be calm. We'll go to our rooms. We'll talk it out. We'll find some way.
No more talk. I want them to get out of here.
You put us out on the streets.
There are other hiding places.
A cellar, a closet. And we haven't any money even to pay for that.
I'll give you money. Out of my own pocket, I'll give it gladly.
Mr. Frank, you said you would never forget what Putty did for him when you came to Amsterdam. You said he could
If
never
my
repay him.
husband had any obligation to you, he's paid it. Over and over.
Edith, please. I've never seen you like this before. I don't even know you.
I should have spoken out long ago.
Can't be nice to so many people. There would have been plenty for all of us if you hadn't come in here.
We don't need the Nazis to destroy us. We're destroying ourselves.
Give this to me. She'll find you another place.
Mother, not Peter. Peter hasn't done anything.
Peter will stay, of course. When I say I must protect the children, I mean Peter too.
I'd have to go if Father goes.
He's no father to you, that man. He doesn't know what it is to be a father.
I couldn't stay. I wouldn't feel right.
Very well then, I'm sorry.
Peter, don't. I don't care about the food. They can have mine. I don't want it. Just don't send Peter away. It's daylight soon. They'll be caught.
Please, Mother.
They're not going now. They'll stay here until Meek finds them another place. But one thing I insist on. He must never come down here again. He must never come into this room where the food is stored. We'll divide up what we have left, an equal share for each. You can cook it here and take it up to him.
Oh no, we haven't so far. We're going to try the rotten potatoes.
Margot and Peter.
It's me.
Look at the size of that one. And that one. You're giving all the big ones for yourself.
Please don't let us see anything
Stop
like
it.
this.
Mrs.
Stop
Van Dam.
it! Stop it!
Peter, Margot and Mrs. Van Dam.
Stop it!
Myself. What they told you.
Stop it!
And Peter,
Albert.
myself, Mrs. Van Dam, and Peter.
Did you hear that, everybody? Did you hear what I said? The invasion has begun! The invasion!
When? Where, me?
It began early this morning.
Oh, Mr. Van Dam, did you hear that the invasion has begun? How do you know me? How do you know? Shh.
The radio, the BBC. They said they landed on the coast of Normandy. The British, Americans, Dutch, French, Norwegians, Poles, all of them. More than 4,000 ships. Churchill spoke, and General Eisenhower. D-Day, they call it.
Thank God it's come.
I'll be up the second I hear more.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
What is it? What's happened?
Does it matter now?
Please, I'm so ashamed.
For God's sake.
Mr. Van Dam, didn't you hear? The invasion has come. We're going to be liberated. It's time to celebrate.
Celebrate what? Stealing bread from children?
We've all done things that we're ashamed of.
Look at me. I have treated Mother. So horrible to her.
Oh no, Annika, no.
Mother, I was awful.
No, no one was as bad as me.
Stop it now, be happy.
Here. Schnapps. Laheim.
Hi. When I think of the terrible things that I said, I really am sorry.
No, they were all true.
That I should speak that way to our friends, our guests.
Stop it, you're ruining the whole occasion.
We're all in much better spirits these days. There's still excellent news of the invasion. The best part about it is that I have a feeling that friends are coming. Who knows? Maybe I'll be back in school by fall. Oh, the joke is on us. The warehouse man doesn't know a thing and we're paying him all that money. Wednesday, the 2nd of July, 1944. The invasion seems temporarily to be bogged down. The Gestapo found the radio that was stolen. Mr. Dussel says they'll trace it back and back to the thief, and then it's just a matter of time before they'll get to us. Everyone is low. Even poor Pim can't raise their spirits. I've often been downcast myself, but never in despair. I can shake off anything if I write. But that is the great question. Will I ever be able to write well? Oh, I want to so much. I want to go on living even after my death. Another birthday has gone by, so now I'm 15. Already I know what I want. I have a goal, an opinion.
There it goes again, Mr. Frank. Do you hear?
Yes, I hear.
But this is the third time, Mr. Frank. I tell you, something's wrong. For some reason, he can't get to us.
Please, stop wasting your breath.
Something's happened, Mr. Frank. Something has happened. Today got a man to work. There has to be a sound in the building.
Perhaps it's Sunday. We may have lost track of the days.
You with the diary, what day is it?
I don't lose track of the days. I know exactly what day it is. It's Friday the 4th of August. Friday. And man's at work.
Me could never telephone us.
Just go down there. Just go down there and listen. Do you know?
Please, I asked you.
I will not let anyone do anything that might let anybody know we're up here.
Mr. Frank's right.
We don't need to know what side you're on.
If we just wait here patiently, I'm sure help will come.
I'm going down. Too late.
So what do we do now? Just wait here to die?
I can't stand it. I'll kill myself. I'll kill myself.
For God's sake, will you stop it?
I think you want me to die. I think you want me to do it.
And whose fault is it that we're here? We could have been safe if we left when I said to. We could have been in America or Switzerland, but no, you didn't want to leave your things behind. You didn't want to leave your precious furniture behind.
Don't touch me. Peter, look. The sky. What a lovely, lovely day. Aren't the clouds beautiful? Do you know what I think when it feels I can't be cooped up in this room for another minute? I think myself out. Do you know what the best part about thinking yourself out is? You can have it any way you like. I think myself on a walk with Pim, with the roses and the violets blooming all at the same time. It's funny. I used to take it all for granted, and now I've gone crazy for everything to do with nature. Haven't you?
Oh, I think I've just gone crazy. If something doesn't happen soon, if we don't get out of it, I can't stand much more of it.
I wish you had a religion, Peter.
No thanks, not me.
Oh no, not meaning that you should be orthodox and believe in heaven and hell and such thing. Just to believe in something. When I think of all that's out there, the trees, the clouds, the flowers, when I think of the dearness of you, Peter, and the goodness of the people we know, Meek, Dirk, the vegetable man, risking their lives for us every day. When I think of these good things, I'm not afraid anymore. I find myself and God
That's fine. But when I think, I get mad. Look at us, hiding up here for 2 years, not able to move. Just caught here like waiting for them to come and get us. And all for what?
We're not the only people that have had to suffer, Peter. There've always been people that have had to. Sometimes one race, sometimes another. And yet...
That doesn't make me feel any better.
I know it's terrible. Trying to have a religion when people are doing such horrible. But do you know what I think? I think the world may be going through a phase. It'll pass, maybe not thousands of years from now, but someday. In spite of everything, I still believe people are really good at heart.
I want to see something now.
Not 1,000 years from now. But Peter, if you don't look at it in the great scheme of things, that we're only little minutes in this life. Listen to us, going at each other like a couple of stupid grown-ups. Look at the sky now. Isn't it lovely? Someday, when we get out of here, I'm going to go and have a picnic with Pim.
Aufmachen. Stadtbinnen. Aufmachen. Schnell.
For 2 long years we've lived in fear.
Aufmachen Sie die Augen. Machen Sie jetzt sofort auf. Hier wird aufgemacht, und zwar sofort. Öffne die Tür. Jetzt. Aufmachen. Schnell.
So it seems that our stay here is over. They're waiting for us now. They've allowed us 5 minutes to get our things. We can each take a bag and whatever it will hold of clothing. Nothing else. So, dear diary, that means I must leave you behind. Goodbye for a while. P.S. Please, please, me or anyone else, if you should find this diary, will you please keep it safe for me? Because someday, I hope...
No more.
I'd gone to the country to find food. When I got back, the block was surrounded by police. I made it my business to learn how they knew. It was the thief who told them.
You know, it seems strange to say this, that anyone could be happy in a concentration camp. But Anne was happy in that first camp they took us to in Holland. After 2 years of being locked up in these rooms, she could be out in the fresh air that she loved.
A little more.
In September, they told us we would be moved to Poland. The men to one camp, the women to another. I was sent to Auschwitz. They were sent to Belsen. In January, those of us who were left were freed. On the journey home, each time we stopped, we'd go from group to group. Where were you? Were you at Belsen? Did you know my wife? My daughter? My son? That's how I found out about my wife's death. And Margot, the Van Dans, Mr. Dussel. But for Anne, I still held out hope. Yesterday I went to Rotterdam to meet a woman who'd been to Belsen with her. But now I know.
In spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart.
She puts me to shame.